Good morning, everybody. I hope you are all doing well this morning. I want to talk to y'all for a few minutes this morning about the anti-anxiety medication Buspirone. It's also known as Buspar. I've been on Buspirone for 2 weeks now, and I just want to give my general thoughts on how I think I've done with it, if it's helped my anxiety, what side effects that I've personally experienced, if any. So the first thing I'm going to do is I went on Google and I wrote down some of the more common side effects for this medication. And then I'm going to tell you exactly what side effects that I've personally experienced, and then whether I think that it's helped my anxiety levels at this point. So, first off, I'm going to read off some of these side effects. Restlessness, nervousness, unusual excitement, blurred vision, clammy or sweaty, decreased concentration, diarrhea, drowsiness, dryness of the mouth, muscle pain, ringing in the ears, trouble sleeping, nightmares, vivid dreams, unusually tired or weakness. Of these ones that they say are the more common ones, I've experienced 3. I had the blurred vision, but on that note, I want to say I've moved several times over the last couple years, and at some point I lost my glasses, and I haven't got my glasses replaced yet. And I'm definitely one that I need my glasses. It's on my to-do list. So I'm not necessarily attributing any kind of blurriness in vision to this medication. I think it's more like I need to get my glasses replaced. Diarrhea. Again, I've had a lot of stomach issues that come along with my anxiety levels. And, I mean, my doctor's never been able to find a physical reason for it. So, off and on, I've had diarrhea issues for at least a year, if not longer. So again, I don't necessarily attribute that to this medication, and I will say that since I went on this medication, I'm actually having less issues with diarrhea than I was before. So, hold on. Sorry. I'm actually having less problems with diarrhea than I was before. So I think in my case, that has helped improve some of my stomach issues that are intertwined with anxiety. Concentration. This is one that I noticed. I'm not really noticing it as much now, but within, I'm going to say the first 10 days or so, there was periods of time when I was at work where I would be working on something and I would kind of space out, zone out. Like I would be doing something and the next thing I know I'm just kind of staring off into space, and I would do that for 30 seconds to a minute before I would catch what I was doing. So I just kind of called it zoning out. But I haven't really, in the last few days, had any issue with that. But that was there, as I said, about the first 10 days or so. One thing that I've liked the most about this that I immediately noticed within, like, the first 3 or 4 days, it has greatly, I can't say greatly enough, helped my sleep pattern. I was having so many problems with being able to sleep at night because the best way I put it was my brain would not shut down at night. I'd be thinking and worrying and obsessing about whatever I had, happening to go on that day, and I was having a lot of serious issues with, I couldn't leave work at work. I would bring it home and worry and stress and cry, and this has really put me back on a more normal sleep schedule, which I can't tell you enough. I don't know the last time that my sleep schedule was normal, and that first night that I got 8 hours of sleep, I got up and I was ready to run a marathon. I was so freaking excited. So, you know, up here where it says that one of the side effects is it can cause trouble sleeping, or, you know, the nightmares, vivid dreams. I haven't had any of that. It has helped straighten out my sleep pattern, which I think in and of itself has made such a difference, because when you're going nights when you're only getting 1 or 2 hours of sleep a night, that really increases that anxiety and that irritability, because you stay exhausted all the freaking time. Within the first 4 or 5 days of taking it, maybe even the first 10 days, I noticed I did have 5 or 6 days of anywhere from mild, I can deal with it, anxiety, to on the other end of the scale where I had intense anxiety. There was one day that I did have a panic attack, but something happened at work. I'm not going to go into the details of what happened or what triggered me or anything like that, but the panic attack, something happened that I was triggered. I have PTSD. So, I will say I seem to work through and come down from that panic attack a lot easier than what I normally would have. So even with having a panic attack, I noticed a difference in the being able to work through that panic attack and not having it linger, so to speak. But yeah, like I said, I think with PTSD, sometimes certain things are going to happen that is just an automatic trigger, basically just like a light comes on when you flip a switch. I don't know if there's any medication that can stop that. I think that's more of a therapy thing, and learning to work with your mind and work through those triggers, which I am also in therapy, and you know, that's where my therapist comes in. So now I've got to 14 days in. Especially the last 3 or 4 days, I've noticed that I'm much more calm. I'm not as easily shaken. One of the major problems I had at work was dealing with changing routine. For example, I work at Walmart. If they would stick me in one area that I'm very familiar with, I know that's what I would label my comfort zone. Sorry, my dog's down here. That's what I would label as my comfort zone. Whereas if they would put me somewhere else that maybe I'm not necessarily as comfortable. Would you stop? Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? Say hi. Hi. Oh, you ain't gonna look at the camera? Are you camera shy? Are you camera shy? There you go. Say cheese. Sorry. Anyway. Where was I? Anyway. I'm better at dealing with changing routine. If I'm in an area that I'm very familiar with and they pull me out and put me somewhere where I'm not necessarily familiar or don't think I'll do as good of a job before that would trigger a bad anxiety attack, if not panic attack. That's something that I've worked to overcome hard over the last year or so, and I've noticed in the last few days it just doesn't seem to shake me now like it did. I'm just take it or leave it, and that's awesome. That really is, because it's caused a lot of problems. Let me just leave it at that. Again, dealing with work chaos. If I walk in and I find out that we have a double truck and 6 people for the night, there's no more freak out. It is what it is. Let's get this done. I'm not obsessing or worrying or panicking. I'm about to sneeze again. Oh my God, you guys. I don't want to redo this, so y'all are just going to have to deal with the unedited version. As far as dealing with work chaos, if we had 2 trucks come in and we're short-staffed and everybody's called in, then that would freak me out before. That I would panic, I would worry, I would obsess. And whereas now I seem to be adapting to a take it or leave it. And the biggest one that I have saved for last, because I just experienced this last night, and it's not very often that I go into these groups on Facebook or whatnot and say, hey, has anybody else experienced this? But in this case I did. I was upset about something last night. And you know that feeling you get when you want to have a big nasty cry? I got that feeling. And I tried to cry, and like 1 or 2 tears came and nothing. 1 or 2 tears came and nothing, and I was like, what the heck? Like, I will say it distracted me, because it took me off guard, and I was like, okay, I want to cry, but my body's like, oh no, you don't, not today. So that was something I wasn't expecting, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I don't know if that's something that will eventually pass, if it's going to stay that way. I don't know, but it was a very weird feeling you get that feeling of you want to cry, and you basically want to break the dams loose, and nothing. So, anyway, that's all I have to say as far as 14 days in, what I've thought so far. One other time I tried Zoloft, and Zoloft did not work well for me. I got very, very, very sick. I'm talking stomach issues, throwing up, couldn't keep anything down. So I really never had a chance to see how much Zoloft would really help me, because I was off of it as fast as I was on it. Whereas, you know, the problems I've had with this, I haven't really noticed anything that, there's nothing here that's a deal breaker that I'm gonna tell my doctor, hey, take me off that now. But I mean, we'll see as time goes on how it continues to work. I'll do another. I'm planning to do another update video at 1 month in, and then I'll periodically do some video updates. But this is what I've thought so far. So I'm about to wrap this up, and I'm going to get around and get ready for work. If you guys have any questions, any comments, just leave them below, and I will talk to you guys next time. Everybody have a good day. Bye.